Yeah, and then he likes playing B10, and he starts talking like his sister would be. And which, because you get to a point where you encounter Alexia, and like she like shoots at Steve, but it's like a minor bullet shot, like to the shoulder or something.
Yeah.
And then she escapes through the other wall, or the magical door in the wall. And so Steve and Claire go to the next room, and you discover, you find a wig and a dress randomly on the ground and stuff like that. And Alfred, he's up there on top of the bed, and he's gonna make a jump for it. And then I think Steve bitch slaps him around. And Alfred gets up and he looks in the mirror and he discovers he's still wearing makeup on his face. And then he cries like a bitch. And what's he does? What do we do? Oh, we summon the self-destruct sequence.
Yes, because that's exactly the right reaction when you find out that you came out of the closet.
Exactly. So Claire and Steve get the hell out by getting onto a plane. But of course, Alfred has to do one more thing.
One more dick move.
By summoning a tyrant. And then you fight the tyrant. Then you guys get on the plane. You take off. Just to find out the tyrant snuck up on board. You fight. This is the battle, of course, could be kind of complicated, because if you're too far off the end of the plane, the tyrant can bitch slap you off to where you fall off the plane. I hated this boss.
Yeah, that was a pain. I died several times doing that.
He had really powerful fists, but you wanted to get. There's a crate on board, and you have to do this 2 or 3 times, and eventually the crate knocks him flying off, and then you never have to see him again.
He's in some poor African country now, terrorizing people.
And then they're oh yay, and it's
not the African people.
And then where do we want to go now? And Claire's oh, I hear Hawaii is nice this time of the year. And I was oh, we'll go to Hawaii. And so they're flying, and out of nowhere, the plane gets hacked, and Alfred sets the coordinates for Antarctica. And then
which makes a whole lot of sense, because Hawaii's here, Antarctica's down here on the other side of the equator. That's a shit ton of time.
So they wake up the next day in Antarctica, and of course the plane crashes into the Antarctica base.
Convenient.
And so of course they we're going to try to find a new way to get out of here. And eventually they go for all this, and they find this dozer that could drill for walls and stuff. And go away. Well, anyways, they finally make their way through it. Because once Steve fucks up by putting gas into that room, and you have to take the gas out. But when they get in there, after they knock Ashford out of the way, and then of course I think that's where he's really injured, and so you break for the wall so you can find another vehicle.
Yeah.
But before you find the other vehicle, you fight their father, Alexander, which is what's the monster they call him in there? Nosferatu or something?
Yeah, Nosferatu. You find him you have to shoot down this coffin.
Yeah.
And for those of you who know, Nosferatu it was an old ass movie about a vampire. Hence why he was sitting up in the coffins up there.
But so you find him on top of this building, and so it's of course he can bitch slap you off the roof too. And there's numerous ways you can kill him: knife, regular gun, or sniper rifle. But after you kill him, you save Steve, who almost fell off the building, and then you get yourself into the snowplow truck, and then you discovered Alfred reawakens Alexia. Alexia's oh, I have the power of hentai tentacles, and sends a giant tentacle towards their way, and they're like, oh fuck, second time. We just can't get out of this. And so, well, and then the screen goes black, and you think, oh well, maybe the game's over. No, now you get to play as Chris, so it's a little bit change of events. But you start off things at Rockford Island because that's where the coordinates were given for him. And of course, Rockford Island being all damaged and blown up, and you can only go
Claire and her friends' little escapades there.
You only discover like so much, and of course, Chris he finally discovers that the person who really attacked the island was no other but Albert Wesker. And so Chris discovers that Wesker is finally alive. And so he, like, Alexia, stops, the little mini fight that they're in. And so Wesker goes to Antarctica. Eventually, Chris finds a plane to get himself to Antarctica. And, so now Chris is on his way. He gets to his way to Antarctica, but of course, Wesker is there, and he has these security cameras going around, and if you get caught, a hunter will show up, and you have to shoot the hunter. And, So now you're in the Antarctica base with Chris.
Yeah.
And you get to a point in the game where you see Wesker and Alexia duke it out, and you discover Alexia has been injected with the thing known as the T. Veronica virus. And I'm probably wrong, but I think Veronica was their, the last far back ancestor as they used to know.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Veronica was their mother. And anyways, she turns into this mutated, freak of nature. And so Wesker and her duke it out, and eventually
they all go take a shit.
Well, Chris is hiding behind this pillar.
You can't see me.
And Wesker does a super jump to where Chris is at, and he's like, he's like, Chris, since you were one of my bestest men, I'll let you handle this. And I think I quoted that 100%.
It's possible.
And so you actually have a boss fight, and Veronica has the power to kill you in one hit. So, because if she grabs a hold of you, she'll pick you up, and then your whole
break your neck or something.
Pretty much your insides catch on fire. But pretty much
not the best way to go.
The fight doesn't take that long. Just shoot her a couple times, and then she falls down. But of course, you discover she's still alive because when you go to the next room, they show a cutscene where she stands right back up. But you've discovered that you eventually find Claire, and after reuniting with Claire, you play as her for a little bit. And so you and Claire finds Steve just to find out that Steve's been infected.
Bitch boy is infected.
He turns into a monster, and then you have to run down this hall, and because he has an axe.
He looks like Quasimodo from hell.
Yeah, exactly. And then the tentacle thing comes out of the wall and grabs a hold of Claire, and like Claire's trying to tell Steve no, and then like before the final blow, like the mind comes back. Steve turns into normal, but he's slowly dying, and then eventually Steve dies.
Oh, how sad.
But the door that Claire is in is locked, and then you go back as playing as Chris, but anyways, like I think I might have like foretell the thing, because I think at this point the Veronica fight did start here now.
Yeah, I think you.
So I jumped around the future and the past, but anywho, that's what happened regardless. And you do reunite with Claire because you find her crying, and she gives you this key card, and she says if you find the self-destruct sequence, then any locked door should re-unlock. And so you eventually find the self-destruct thing, you set it off, and Claire is free, and then Veronica comes out, and she like almost kills Claire, but quick shoot her, and then Veronica drops. Then she mutates into like this big blob thing, like piss ant creature. And so you start shooting her, and then like she mutates into like a flying monster thing, and this is like a special rocket launcher you get known as the lunar launcher. And then I like to play a game to see how many times it takes, because you only need to hit her once, how many times it takes me to get her. And then
the first time I played that, I remember it took me friggin' forever, because I'd hit it, she'd move.
I know.
She'd move. You have to like anticipate where she's going, and once you finally get it down, she changes it up, and she's like, "Oh, nope, I'm over here now."
Exactly. So now, but then eventually, when you shoot her, she explodes.
Gives some pretty fireworks.
And then, of course, Chris makes his way down just to find out that Wesker has a hold of Claire. And then, of course, Wesker, I guess, for some reason, doesn't kill Claire, and actually lets her go. And then Wesker starts chasing out, or Chris starts chasing after Wesker, and you make your way to like this little area, and then it's an actual pretty long cutscene in my opinion, where Chris and Wesker duke it out.
Almost as long as this podcast.
Wesker has the upper hand because he has Superman powers, because he can run across sideways on walls, and super jump, and super punches, and laser cat eye vision. Not really laser vision, but
he's like fucking ridiculous.
But eventually, like, there's a separation, like an explosion that separates the both, and so Wesker's like, "Until we meet again, Chris." And Chris, hurry up, finds Claire. They take off in one of the jets, and then the Antarctica base explodes, and that's
shocker there.
And then you discover, well, Code Veronica's done, and Chris is like, "Yeah, we're going to finish off Umbrella once and for all."
And then you think you did a badass job on the game. You thought you did awesome. You get like a C ranking on it.
Exactly. Like, Veronica is such the hardest, longest game I've ever played, and anyways,
getting a phone call.
No, it's just Alex. But anyways,
that's that game.
That's the end of Code Veronica. So,
thank God, that was a long game.
And the thing is, between Zero and Code Veronica, all that happens in 1998, between July to December.
Now we royally fast forward. We take like a quantum leap jump.
Yeah, we take a couple years, and we go back to Leon.
We find him on the suburbs of a Spanish town,
which we discovered Leon now works for the government. And, he's like, he's on a mission for the president, because you discover that the president's daughter has been kidnapped.